Hello students, in today's lecture we'll study about magnetism and matter in the form of revisions, questions and answers. As you all know that syllabus for the academic year 2021 has been revised. In this chapter, that is chapter number 5 on magnetism and matter, the written portions are introduction, the bar magnet, the magnetic field lines, magnetism and Gauss law, the Earth's magnetism and magnetization and magnetic in field intensity. The deleted portions are magnetic field intensity due to a magnetic dipole and torque on magnetic dipole in the form of magnetic field. Then paramagnetic, diamagnetic and ferromagnetic substances with examples also has been deleted. Finally, the electromagnets and factors affecting their strengths, permanent magnets, etc. has also been deleted. So, in this chapter, major and difficult portions have been deleted. So, we will revise this chapter in the form of questions and answers, that is 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 mark and 5 mark questions, multiple choice, completion type questions, true or false types questions, and we will also study about the important formulae. PU board has given an indication about the form of question paper. The question paper marks will be 1 plus 3 plus 3 marks or 2 plus 5 marks as the case may be. Let us start. Then we will go through the questions and answers in the form of a study. The study material for this chapter is in the form of questions and answer. The first question is, what are the properties of magnetic field lines? Magnetic field lines are continuous closed loops. Tangent to the field at any point represent the direction of the net field. This we have studied in the previous chapter, that is in chapter number 4. And this is revised because magnetism is common and combined for both the chapters, that is chapter number 4 and chapter number 5. The third property is, the larger the number of field lines crossing a unit area normally, the stronger is the magnitude of the magnetic field B. Property number 4 is, magnetic field lines do not cross. Question number 2. Is a bar magnet an equivalent current carrying solenoid? Answer is, each turn of solenoid behaves as a small magnetic dipole. Therefore, the solenoid can be considered as an arrangement of small magnetic dipoles placed in line with each other. The magnetic field produced by solenoid is identical to that produced by the magnet. So, the solenoid behaves as a small magnetic dipole. Question number 3. What is the force acting on a bar magnet placed in a uniform magnetic field? That is, he is asking the formula for force. The force acting on a bar magnet placed in a uniform magnetic field is 0. What is the torque when a bar magnet of dipole moment M is placed in a uniform field? When is the torque maximum and minimum? We know that for a bar magnet, the torque is given by the formula M cross B, or tau is equal to mb sin theta. When theta is equal to 90, torque is maximum, that is sin 90 is 1, therefore tau is equal to mb. When theta is equal to 0, sin theta is 0, therefore torque is 0. Question number 5. Give an expression for time period of oscillation when magnetic needle placed in a uniform field. We know when a magnetic needle is placed in a uniform magnetic field, that is, a small compass or magnetic needle of magnetic moment M and moment of inertia I is made to oscillate in the magnetic field, and the time period of oscillation is given by T is equal to 2 pi into square root of 1 over mb seconds. Question number 6. State and express Gauss law in magnetism. The net magnetic flux through any closed surface is 0. Consider a small vector area element delta S of closed surface S. According to Gauss law in magnetism, net flux through the closed surface phi b is equal to summation of all area elements b dot b vector b dot ds is equal to 0. The implication of Gauss law is that isolated magnetic poles do not exist. What is the cause of Earth's magnetism? Earth's magnetism is due to electric currents produced by the convective motion of mainly molten iron and nickel in the outer core of the Earth. What is magnetic declination? Declination at the place is the angle between the true geographic north and direction and the north shown by the magnetic compass needle. This is as explained in the diagram. Figure number 9. Show that a current carrying solenoid behaves as a magnet. That means prove that when a current is passed through a solenoid, it behaves as a magnet. Please see the figure here. It is a long solenoid. This is a solenoid on which there is the wire is wound. Wire is wound in the form of helical spring, and a current I enters it and it comes out. I enters here left side and flows in the adjacent coils and comes out in this direction. Consider a rectangular Amperian loop PQRS. You see here, this is PQRSP. This is a loop PQRSP. The field is 0 along the QR. The field is 0 QR and RS and SP as shown in the text box. See the text box. Integral PQ, this is PQ, into, that is B dot dl, that is the field here. B dot dl is integral PQ, B dot dl cos 0. The angle is 0. Therefore, cos 0 is 1. And this equation B dot dl becomes BA. Okay, because cos 0 BA. And in the loop QR, that is Q to R, B dot dl is equal to integral QR B dl into cos 90. See, this is a vertical and the angle is 90 degrees. So cos 90 is 0. Therefore, B dot dl is 0. Similarly, R into S is B dot dl, that is equal to B is 0 because there is no field outside. Field B, magnetic field is only inside. So outside it is 0. Hence B is substituted as 0. 0 into dl cos 0 is 0. And in the third loop, that is S into P, again theta is 90 degrees vertical. Hence cos 90 is 0. Therefore, the field is B dot dl is 0. And again, the total, if you add all the four, P, Q, R, S, P, we get only BA component is there. Therefore, integral B dot dl is equal to BA. Thus, the relevant length of Amperian loop is L is equal to A. This is L and this length is A. Let N be the number of turns per unit length of the solenoid. Then the total number of turns is N into A. A is the length here. Therefore, number of turns is N into A. The enclosed current I is given by I enclosed is equal to I into N into A, where I is the current in the solenoid. I is the current in solenoid. From Amperian circuit law, we know that BL is equal to mu into IE. That is the where mu naught is the permeability and I is the enclosed current. B is the in field, electric field, and L is the length. Therefore, B into A is equal to mu naught I into NA. See, here it is given IE is equal to I into NA. Therefore, B is equal to mu naught into I into N. Therefore, because AA gets cancelled, mu naught IN. This is the ideal equation for ideal solenoid. This you have to remember, this equation. B is equal to mu naught IN. Magnetic field at a point on one end of the solenoid. If we take one end, this end or that end, it is half of that. So that becomes B is equal to mu naught into NI divided by 2. This equation is similar to the expression for magnetic field on the axis of a short bar magnet. See, this is similar to this equation to expression for magnetic field on the short bar magnet. Hence, solenoid carrying a current behaves as a bar magnet. Question number 10. In question number 10, what is magnetic declination? This is a very important topic. In the examination, there will be definitely a question on this section. Answer. Declination at a place is the angle between the true geographic north direction and the north shown by the magnetic compass needle. From our geographical knowledge, at a geographic north, that is North Pole, and when we keep a needle, the north direction is also shown by a magnetic compass needle. Please see the figure. In the figure, this is the geographic NG. N suffix G is a geographic north and SG is the geographic south. But if you place a needle, it will point towards this north, this NM here. So the magnetic needle shows north here and south here. This is called, the blue line here is called the magnetic north-south. And here this is geographic north and NM-SM is the magnetic north. And similarly, there will be a geographic equator. We know this is a geographic equator. And the magnetic equator will also be slightly inclined. The angle between the geographic north and the magnetic north is called the magnetic declination. Question number 11. What is magnetic dip or inclination? Magnetic dip at a place is the angle between Earth's total magnetic field at a place and horizontal drawn in magnetic meridian. See, magnetic dip. This is the total, the BE in this. Please see the diagram too. BE is the total magnetic field. So this is pointing out from this direction to this is inclined line is the true total magnetic field. Earth's total magnetic field at a place, and HE is the horizontal drawn in the magnetic meridian. So the angle between HE and BE is the magnetic dip or inclination. See, this is the angle. Question number 12. What are the elements of Earth's magnetic field? Mention them. Answer. The three elements of Earth's magnetic field are magnetic declination, that is theta. This is theta here. It is shown 11.3 in the diagram shown is the magnetic declination. and magnetic inclination I or delta, it is also called dip at that place. This is the dip I, and horizontal component of magnetic field He. So let us summarize. One is magnetic declination. Here the angle between the geographic north and magnetic north, and magnetic inclination I or delta, dip between BE and HE, and horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. These are the three elements. Question number 13. What is the relation between horizontal component, that is HE, and vertical component ZE and inclination I? So he is asking in this question number 13 the relationship between HE, the horizontal component, VE, or this is also called vertical component, or ZE, vertical component, and inclination, that is inclination is, this is I. This relationship is asking. Right? Answer. If B is the total Earth's magnetic field, we know from the Pythagoras theorem, BE is equal to square root of HE square plus ZE square. And horizontal component HE is given by HE is equal to BE cos delta. And vertical component VE is given by ZE is equal to BE sin delta. And the angle I, that is inclination or delta dip, is given by tan I is equal to ZE by HE. Define magnetization of a sample. Magnetization of a sample is its net magnetic dipole moment per unit volume. That is, magnetization M, vector M, is given by the net magnetic dipole moment. Small m is the net magnetic dipole moment per, this V is volume. What is the unit of magnetization? It is amps per meter. Question number 16. Define magnetic intensity. Answer. The degree to which a magnetic field can magnetize a material is represented in terms of magnetic intensity. Magnetic intensity, vector H, of a material is the ratio of external magnetic field B naught to permeability mu naught of free space. Magnetic intensity of the material is given by the formula B naught by H naught, where H and B naught are vectors. For solenoid, B naught is equal to vector B naught is equal to mu naught Ni. Therefore, B naught by mu naught is equal to Ni. Therefore, this Ni is H. H depends on current. That means H is equal to Ni. N is the number of turns and H is equal to Ni. That is, H depends on current only. Question number 17. What is the unit of magnetic intensity? The unit of magnetic intensity is ampere per meter. Question number 18. What is the relationship between magnetic field vector B and magnetic intensity H and magnetization M of the specimen? The relationship is given by vector B is equal to vector B naught plus vector Bm. That is equal to mu naught into H. We know B naught is equal to mu naught into H plus M. where H and M are both vectors. B naught is equal to mu naught into H due to the current in the solenoid, and Bm equals mu naught into M, where M is the magnetization, is due to the nature of material inside the solenoid. That is, Bm is the property of the material of the solenoid. Question number 19. What is magnetic susceptibility? Answer. The ratio of magnetization developed in the material due to magnetic intensity is called magnetic susceptibility. That means it is the ratio of magnetization to magnetic intensity. That is, susceptibility is equal to vector M by vector H. Question number 20. Write the relation between magnetic intensity, magnetic field and susceptibility. B is given by B is equal to mu naught into 1 plus xi into H, vector H, that is equal to mu H, where mu is equal to mu naught into 1 plus xi. Question number 21. What is the relation between magnetic relative permeability and susceptibility? Therefore, mu R is equal to 1 plus X. See here, this 1 plus X is equal to mu R into 1 plus X. So, this equation can be written as B is equal to mu naught into mu R H. So, mu naught into mu R will be equal to mu. What is the relation between magnetic relative permeability mu R and permeability of the medium? Therefore, mu is equal to mu naught mu R. This mu naught is free space and mu R is the relative permeability. Mu is the permeability of the medium, mu naught is the permeability of free space, and mu R is the relative permeability. Define permeability. Permeability of substance is the ability of the substance to allow magnetic field lines to pass through it. That means if for a good permeability, it will allow the magnetic field lines to pass through it. Question number 24. What are permanent magnets? Give one example. This is a 2 marks question. Answer. Substances which retain their magnetic property for a long period of time at room temperature are called permanent magnets. Example, steel. Question number 25. Where are surface of Earth's vertical component of Earth's magnetic field is 0? That means the question is, where is V, that is the vertical component of Earth's magnetic field is 0. At equator, V or ZE equals 0. Question number 26. The horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field at a place is B. That is, HE is equal to B and angle of dip is 60 degrees. Question. What is the value of vertical component of Earth's magnetic field at equator? So, the question asked is V equals what? So, the vertical and horizontal components of Earth's magnetic field are perpendicular to each other. See the figure here. This figure here, B is the total field of Earth, magnetic field B, and HE is the horizontal component and VE is the vertical component. The question asked is I is equal to 60 degrees. and he is asking what is the value of V. Let us find out. Horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field H is equal to B cos theta. We know here from the our this Pythagoras theorem, H is equal to B cos theta. Pythagoras theorem or a trigonometric, we know from the trigonometric function, H is equal to B cos theta, and that is given as B. In the question it is given. H is equal to B is given here. Therefore, substituting BE into cos 60 is 1 by 2. That is equal to BE. Therefore, BE will be equal to 2B. Cross multiplying, it will be 2B. Vertical component of Earth's magnetic field is given by V equals BE sin 60. Therefore, substituting the value of B is equal to 2B, we get V is equal to 2B into root 3 by 2. The value of sin 60 you have to remember is root 3 by 2. Therefore, V is equal to these 2 and these 2 get cancelled, root 3V. That is the required answer. Question number 27. What is the angle of dip at a place where the horizontal component and vertical components of Earth's magnetic field are equal? That is given is HE is equal to V. That is magnetic field are equal. Therefore, answer. The angle of dip is given by the formula delta is equal to tan inverse of BV by BH. BV, or it is written as BV, is sometimes written as V, or sometimes it is also written as Z, that is the vertical component, and H is the horizontal component. BH is the horizontal component. Therefore, given BV is equal to BH. Therefore, delta is equal to tan inverse of 1. So, BV is equal to BH. Therefore, BV by BH is equal to 1. Therefore, delta will be equal to tan inverse of 1. That is we know from the knowledge of trigonometry. Tan inverse of 1 is this, tan of 45 is 1. Hence, tan 45 is equal to 1 and hence the delta is 45 degrees. Question number 28. A magnetic needle is free to rotate in a vertical plane and tends itself vertically at a certain place on the earth. What are the values of question A, part A, horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field? That is H is equal to HE is equal to what? We have to find out. And angle of dip, that is delta A, we have to find out, part B. Therefore, the coil is free to move in a vertical plane. That means there is no component of Earth's magnetic field. Hence, HE is 0. This is the part A of the answer. So, if a needle is moving freely in vertical plane, HE, the value of HE equals 0. Part B. The angle of dip is 90 degrees. Because it is 90 degrees perpendicular to that. So, delta is 90 degrees. Question number 29. Where on the surface of the earth is the angle of dip is 90 degrees? Answer. At the poles, the angle of dip is 90 degrees. At the poles. Question number 30. Define the term magnetic declination. Magnetic declination is the angle between geographical meridian and magnetic meridian at a place of the earth. So, magnetic declination at any place is the angle between geographical meridian, please note, angle between the geographical meridian and magnetic meridian. In the previous definition, while explanation, we had told it is the angle between the geographical north and magnetic north. It is one and the same. Question number 31. The magnetic needle is free to rotate in a vertical plane parallel to the magnetic meridian. Magnetic needle has its north tip down at 60 degrees with the horizontal. The horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field at a place is known to be 0.4 G. Determine the magnitude of Earth's magnetic field at a place. That means angle given is 60 degrees and HE is equal to 0.4 G. We are required to find out the total magnitude of the Earth's magnetic field, that is B. This is a 2 marks question. Answer. Angle of dip delta is equal to 60. That is equal to, in terms of radians, it is pi by 3. That is 180 by 60. That is equal to pi by 3. The horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field is given as magnetic field H is equal to 0.4 G. Therefore, the Earth's magnetic field we are required to find out. It is given by the horizontal component HE is given, HE is equal to BE cos del. Therefore, BE is equal to H by cos delta, that is equal to 0.4 divided by cos 60. We know cos 60, the value of cos 60 is 1 over 2. Therefore, the answer will be BE is equal to 0.8 G. Question number 32. Name and define the elements of Earth's magnetic field other than horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. Why do we say that at the place like Mumbai and Delhi, a magnetic needle shows the true north direction quite accurately as compared to other places in India? This is a 3 marks question. Please read carefully. Though there are 3 elements of Earth's magnetic field, he has asked to name 2 other than He. This is other than. You see here, it is not done. Other than horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. Let us answer. Answer. The 2 elements of Earth's magnetism other than horizontal component of magnetic field are magnetic declination, which is defined as the angle between magnetic meridian and geographical meridian, is known as the declination, angle of declination at given place. Part B. So, angle of dip is the second component, is the angle made by the resultant of the Earth's magnetic field with the horizontal in magnetic meridian is known as the angle of dip at the given place. That is, angle of dip is the angle between horizontal component and the total Earth's magnetic field. And this part as to why places at Mumbai and Delhi the magnetic needle shows the true north. Please note here, it is true north. So he is asking why in places like Mumbai and Delhi it is showing true north. It is because the angle of dip is 90 degrees at poles, 0 degrees northeast of Delhi, 0.4 degrees and 0.58 at Mumbai. At Mumbai and Delhi, the dip shows 90 degrees. Thus, at both these places, magnetic needle shows the true north. It is a simple. At Bombay and Delhi, it is a true north. Question number 33. The horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field at a place is √3 times its vertical component. That means HE is equal to √3V. Find the value of angle of dip at that place. Next part is what is the ratio of HE horizontal component to BE. This is a 3 marks question and it has 2 parts. Very important but very simple. Answer. As vertical and horizontal components of magnetic fields are perpendicular to each other, when their magnitudes are equal, the resultant will divide their angle equally. Therefore, H is equal to root 3V, where H and V are horizontal and vertical components of Earth's magnetic field. If the angle of dip is delta, then tan delta is equal to V by H and V by root 3V. Hence, 1 by root 3 is equal to pi by 6. Therefore, delta is tan inverse of pi by 6, that is delta is equal to 30 degrees. Horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field is given by the formula H is equal to BE cos delta, where BE is equal to Earth's magnetic field. Therefore, the ratio H to over BE equals cos delta. That is equal to cos pi by 6. This is what we have found. Delta is equal to pi by 6. There, cos pi by 6 is 30. Cos 30 is root 3 by 2. The value of from our trigonometrical knowledge, cos 30 equals root 3 by 2. Therefore, H by BE ratio is given by root 3 by 2. Therefore, H is to BE equals root 3 by 2. This is the answer. Question number 34. Define magnetic susceptibility of a material. Name two elements, one having positive susceptibility and other having negative susceptibility. What does negative susceptibility signify? This is a 3 marks question. It is quite possible that this may be a question from the deleted portion of paramagnetic, diamagnetic and the paramagnetic, diamagnetic material. That is the material. So you can skip it, but otherwise let us go through it. Answer. The magnetic susceptibility Xi m of a magnetic material is equal to the ratio of intensity of magnetization to the magnetizing field. Therefore, Xi m is equal to I over H, where I is the intensity of magnetization and H is the magnetizing field. It has no unit. Positive magnetic susceptibility is possessed by paramagnetic substances aluminum and sodium. Negative magnetic susceptibility is possessed by diamagnetic substance bismuth and copper. Negative susceptibility shows that the substances gets magnetized in a direction opposite to the direction of magnetization. Question number 35. A wheel with 8 metallic spokes, each of 50 cm long, is rotated with a speed of 120 revolutions per minute in a plane normal to the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. The Earth's magnetic field at a place is 0.4 G and angle of dip is 60 degrees. Calculate the EMF induced between the axle and the rim of the wheel. How will the value of EMF be affected if the number of spokes were increased? This is a 3 marks question. Let us solve it. Horizontal component is given by H is equal to B cos theta. That is equal to B is given as 0.4 and angle is given as 60 degrees. Therefore, that is equal to, we know cos 60 is equal to half. Therefore, H is equal to 0.4 into half. That is equal to 0.2 G. Therefore, that is equal to H is 0.2 into 10 to the power of minus 4 Tesla. The wheel is rotating in a plane normal to the horizontal component. So it will cut the horizontal component only. Vertical component of earth will contribute nothing in the EMF. Thus the EMF induced is given as E is equal to half H omega L square, where E is the charge of an electron, EMF, H is the horizontal component, omega is the angular velocity, and it is given as omega is equal to 2 pi n divided by t, where n is the number of turns, number of revolutions, and t is the period. L is the length of spoke. Therefore, L is given as 50 centimeters, that is equal to 0.5 meters. Therefore, E is equal to half into 0.2 into 10 to the power of minus 4 into 0.5 whole square into 2 into 3.14 into 120 by 60. Therefore, E is equal to 3.14 into 10 to the power of minus 5 volts. That is the answer. Another is the value of EMF induced is independent of the number of spokes. So in the question he has asked what will happen if we increase the number of spokes. We have to say that the value of EMF remains unchanged. So the EMF will be unaffected with the increase in number of spokes. 36. Question number 36. Part 1. How does the dip change as line goes from magnetic pole to magnetic equator of the earth? The angle of dip the angle of dip decreases from 90 degrees to 0 degrees. That is, the angle is 90 degrees at the pole and 0 degrees at equator. Question number 37. Name the three elements required to specify the Earth's magnetic field at a given place. This question this part of the question we have already answered in the previous part. Draw a label diagram to define these elements. This also we have explained in the beginning as well as in our previous videos. The next part is explain briefly how these elements are determined to find out the magnetic field at a given place on the surface of the earth. This is all the three parts will have 3 marks question. So let us repeat it. These are three elements of determining field at any point of the earth. Magnetic declination, magnetic dip, and horizontal components of Earth's magnetic field. Angle between geographical meridian and magnetic meridian at any point is known as magnetic declination at that point. Magnetic dip is the angle between direction of Earth's magnetic field and horizontal direction along the magnetic meridian. The figure is shown here. The label diagram is shown here. See here. HE is the horizontal component, B is the total component, and V is the vertical component of Earth's magnetic field. And in this diagram, circular diagram, geographic north and geographic south are shown as vertical line, and inclined line is magnetic north and magnetic south. The meridian passing through these curves are the north meridian, geographic meridian, and the magnetic meridian. Similarly, the angle between the geographic meridian and the magnetic meridian is called the declination. And magnetic equator is also, geographic equator is shown horizontally and the inclined plane is the magnetic equator. Multiple choice questions. Question number 1. A stationary magnet does not interact with iron rod, moving charge, magnet, and D is stationary charge. Answer is stationary charge. Question number 2. The value of magnetic susceptibility or superconductors is 0, infinity, plus 1 and minus 1. That is, magnetic susceptibility of superconductors is minus 1. Question number 3. A bar magnet AB with magnetic moment M is cut into two equal parts perpendicularly to its axis. One part is kept over the other so that the end B is exactly over A. What will be the magnetic moment of combination of so formed? There are 4 choices and the correct answer is A, 0, because M is given by the formula M by 2, because it is equal into two parts M by 2 plus of minus M by 2. So because one is kept over the other, so this magnetic moment will be 0. Question number 4. Two unlike magnetic poles of strength at 10 ampere meters each are held in air at a distance of 0.1 meters from each other. What is the magnetic force of attraction between them? So there are 4 options are given. The correct answer is D, that is 1 into 10 to the power of minus 5 newtons. So this is given by the formula force is equal to K into M1 by M2, where K is equal to mu naught over 4 pi in SI units, or 1, K is equal to 1 in CGS unit. Question number 5. SI unit of a magnetic pole strength is ampere meter, ampere per meter A, option A, and option B is ampere meter, voltmeter, and D ampere per meter square. The correct answer is B. Question number 6. The susceptibility of a ferromagnetic material is at 27 degrees. At what temperature will its susceptibility will be 0.5? This is out of the syllabus. Anyway, you may note down. 4 options are given. It is given as this formula. X1 by X2 is equal to T2 by T1. And the calculations are given. But this question number 6 is out of syllabus for your board examination. Completion type questions. Question number 1. You can determine the sense of magnetic field lines surrounding a straight current carrying conductor by applying right hand thumb rule. Question number 2. The ability of a material to retain magnetism after removal of magnetizing field is called retentivity. This question number 2 is also out of syllabus. It is a part of hysteresis loop. Question number 3. SI unit of magnetic pole strength is ampere meter. Question number 4. The magnetic field lines of a magnetic form closed loop. Question number 5. Magnetic field strength at a point due to a short bar on its axis varies as cube of distance of point from the center. That is inversely. We know that it is a cube, R cube. F is inversely proportional to R cube. Question number 6. Inside the body of a magnet, the direction of magnetic field lines is from south pole to north pole. Question number 7. No two magnetic field lines can intersect each other. True or false type questions. A solenoid acts like a bar magnet. True. SI unit of magnetic field intensity at place is Webers per meter square. True. The magnetic field at the center of circular current carrying loop is 0. False. The magnetic field at the center of a circular loop current is non-zero. Question number 4. The magnetic needle kept in a non-uniform magnetic field experience only torque. It is false. Question number 5. A non-zero work has to be done to rotate a unit north pole around a current carrying wire. True. Magnetic field, because magnetic field is a non-conservative form. Question number 6. Magnetic susceptibility of diamagnetic substance is always negative. This is out of syllabus. Anyway, note down the answer. It is true. Question number 7. Soft iron is used in making permanent magnets. It is false. Steel is used in making permanent magnets. Steel is used in electromagnetic cranes. False. Soft iron is used in electromagnetic cranes. Question number 9. Soft iron retains magnetism once magnetic field is switched off. False. Question number 10. Non-magnetic materials can acquire magnetism when placed in a magnetic field. False. Question number 11. For making electromagnets, soft iron is preferred over steel as it has high permeability and low retentivity. True. Answer is true. Question number 12. For making electromagnets, steel is preferred over soft iron as it has retentivity as well as high coercivity. False. Question number 13. For making permanent magnet, steel is preferred over soft iron as it has retentivity as well as high coercivity. True. Question number 14. Magnetic poles are always found in pairs. True. So having studied that, we have come to the last slide of this chapter. In this slide, we are reviving the important formulae. Please note all the formulae. These have been derivations and descriptions of these formulae have been given in all the sections of our lectures. So the first formula is about horizontal component HE. HE is equal to BE cos delta, where B is the total Earth's magnetic field and delta is the dip. Vertical component VE or ZE is represented by ZE is equal to BE sin delta. ZE and HE are perpendicular to each other. Formula number 3. BE is given by under root HE square plus ZE square. This you can see in the diagram. Formula number 4. Magnetic dip at a place I is given by the equation tan I is equal to ZE by HE. Magnetic force between two poles of a magnet are given by the formula force F is equal to K into M1 M2 divided by R square, where M1 and M2 are pole strengths and R is the distance between the two poles. Formula number 6. Magnetic intensity H of a material is given by H is equal to B naught by mu naught. In the previous table, we had studied about the Earth's component of intensity, magnetic field. Here it is magnetic intensity of a material. H is given by BE by mu naught. Therefore, magnetic field of a solenoid is given by B naught equals mu naught in N into I. If we take at one end of a long solenoid, B is given by B is equal to mu naught Ni over 2. Torque of a bar magnet. Torque of a bar magnet is equals M cross B. That is the vector product of M and B. It is also given as tau is equal to MB sin theta. Magnetic field B is given by B is equal to B naught plus BM. That is also can be written as B is equal to mu naught into H plus M, where M is the magnetization. Magnetic susceptibility Xi is equal to M ratio of M to H, that is Xi is equal to M over H. Magnetic field B is given by B is equal to mu naught into 1 plus xi into h. That is also given by B is equal to mu into h, where mu is equal to mu naught into 1 plus xi. Relative permeability mu r is given by mu r is equal to 1 plus x. Here in the formula number 12, mu is also given by mu is equal to mu naught mu r.